So welcome back to Decoy Noise, another episode of Decoy Noise versus, because we're going to go over another Am I the Antagonist thread that is, am I the antagonist for revoking my wife's movie choosing preferences? So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing down below, but also if you can, drop a comment down below as to what subscriber number you are. It helps me kind of track my growth. Right now I'm at 673 as of recording this video, so I'm kind of moving along pretty well, and I'm also going to be adding in a new section called, what is it? Oh yeah, read the Decoy Coy voice. So I'm gonna read off some of the replies from the Decoy Noise channel in a relevant video. So I mean, whatever, let's just skip that talk. You'll know it when you see it, so stick around for that. So let's read this right here. I've hidden what the audience score was, if they're the antagonist or not, so we can kind of come to this, the conclusion ourselves. So let's go. Since being at home, my wife and I have had a lot of extra time to watch movies and TV shows. Most of the time we swap off who picks the movie. However, I feel that we have pretty different tastes. I appreciate movies that are more subtle and realistic, and she likes action-packed, over-the-top type films. Okay, that's good variety. The last few movies I picked were Richard Jewell, Dark Waters, The Farewell, and Just Mercy, and they were all incredible. She picked Crawl, the alligator movie, Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They weren't terrible, but they were all pretty goofy and ridiculous. Tonight she insisted it was her turn to pick a movie, and she tried to get me to watch Midsummer with her. I have heard it's very over the top and ridiculous, and I just can't deal with her taste anymore. I told her, sorry, after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, your privileges are revoked. She got annoyed and told me I have crap taste. This really bothered me since I am pretty passionate about film, and at one point in time wanted to be a screenwriter. I ended up going upstairs to watch Netflix by myself, and she watched something downstairs alone. Oh, no. Was I the antagonist? I just can't put up with her I just can't put up with another one of her picks. So, like I always usually do, we're gonna take this to Decoy Court, where I give you my knee-jerk reaction, which is, it has no weight behind it, but I mean, I'm just thinking this guy's a pompous asshole. And I always say they try to use the word antagonist, but this guy actually is one right now. So, no, he's the antagonist right now because he just thinks that he just has superior taste because he wanted to be a screenwriter. Like, people like different movies. It's subjective. Doesn't make his opinion any more valid than her opinion. And I gotta be honest right here, like, I haven't seen Knives Out or Crawl, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it had some depth to it. It was a lot of stuff going on. And then these other movies, The Farewell, Just Mercy, Dark Waters, Richard Jewell, I don't really know anything about those films at all. So it's like, if I was sitting there as like a third wheel on their kind of a movie watching, I wouldn't care. I'm like, oh, let's watch more movies that she kind of wanted to, because I watch movies to kind of unwind and relax, not like to think and have a better perspective on life or whatever. I guess I'm just that shallow. But no, he's the antagonist here because he's just so pompous that he thinks that he has a more valid opinion. But let's read on right now. He said, forgot to add, she also had us watch The Invisible Man, which was beyond ridiculous. Yeah, whatever, it's a ridiculous movie. Sometimes you like that stuff. And then another edit. The title is a lighthearted way to phrase this. Obviously, it isn't a real privilege that I have a power to revoke. And it says, I did not delete my other posts. I'm not sure why they can't be seen. So maybe he had his other stuff deleted. So yeah, I guess he said, like, you know, the whole right to revoke her movie choicing privileges, whatever. That's ridiculous. Like, he doesn't have that right or whatever, but he's just trying to say, like, that's the way he phrased the topic. So he's probably not as serious as the post title comes off to be, but if it is, yeah, he's kind of the jerk right now. But let's look at some top comments right now, then we'll look at some controversial. But if you haven't already, please consider stopping the video and dropping a comment down below, because like I said, we're going to go over the top comments from other videos on the channel. So yeah, let me know what your knee-jerk thoughts are. But let's read on. So the top post is, you're the antagonist. She apparently doesn't like your movie choices either, but she sat there, shut up for about 90 minutes, and waited for her turn to choose. True. Get down there, apologize, and watch the movie with her. Getting antsy during the quarantine is no excuse to be mean to your wife. This is true. I think that one thing that we haven't really we won't see for a while, is they said over in and see, I don't want to get too much on the topic, but other places with like 3-month long, like, you know, husband and wife together, they're having like a record high amount of like filing for divorce or whatever. When people are together for too long, they start to bicker over movie choice privileges. So I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, but let's read on. Next reply is, but how could she not like his movie choices? He's a passionate about movies, so obviously his taste is impeccable and far superior to hers. OP, you're being an insufferable movie snob and are now gatekeeping what you will and your wife will watch. Apologize, quick, you're the antagonist. Very true, he is the antagonist, but let's read on. Next post. Yes, you're the antagonist, definitely. Also, you've been voted the antagonist on every single post you've made on Am I the Antagonist, so I think it should be fairly obvious that now that you're just the antagonist in general. Okay, so either he's a troll or he just has bad opinions on everything. Next reply. Notice after his post about accusing his wife about lying about her weight, the very next post says that they're out at a restaurant and his wife is trying to be healthier, aka he crushed her spirit and she's worried about her weight for no reason. Ooh, this is the thing. Maybe he's just a bad person overall, where he just kind of had a... He does something to like kind of push her into something, like where he's gonna go upstairs and watch Netflix alone or whatever, so she'll like... she has to cater to his needs or whatever. Then he posts about on here to kind of validate himself that he's in the right or whatever, then goes on and is more of the antagonist. So hopefully he's actually reading this. Or actually, you know what? No, I actually hope even more that this is just a troll where he says a whole bunch of negative things just to kind of get a rise out of people, because there's no way... Well, maybe there are people this bad, but I would like to think there's nobody this bad. But let's read on. Oh, it's this guy. So he's kind of infamous on Am I the Antagonist? So the next person says, you're the antagonist. You're exactly the type of film snob everybody hates. Yep. Hey man, he considered being a screenwriter, man. So yeah, he's kind of got that all over there. So I mean, I wonder what you guys are thinking down below, because this seems like it's gonna be a polarizing thing between he's the antagonist or not the antagonist. But let's try to see if anybody in the comment section, the controversial section, actually sides with him, saying that he's not the antagonist. I doubt it, but let's see if we can look at the top controversial comment and see what they say. You're the antagonist. She sits through your stuff, so either sit through her stuff or get used to watching alone. Your wife's movie privileges revoked equal your cuddle privileges revoked. Yeah, it's just kind of a thing where maybe there's a more underlying issues on this situation than when we would like to believe right now, because it seems that it'd be kind of weird that it's something as simple like, oh yeah, I want to watch, I don't know, whatever movie they want to see is enough to make them go to separate rooms and not even talk to each other. I understand everybody needs some alone time, but this seems so insanely petty that this can't be the entire part of the story. But like I said, we're going to enter this new section called well, I'm going to read the replies, read the decoy voice. So we're going to go over a thread that was cutting off my struggling neighbor, and this was a post about how do I synopsis real short? It's someone moves into a neighborhood and they find out that their neighbor's struggling, so they start cooking meals for their kids and start sharing with them all the time. Once that OP starts saying that, hey, look, I'm actually my kids are actually vegan, they start cooking vegan meals. The neighbor actually had the audacity to go back and complain, saying, hey, look, stop cooking those vegan meals. You need to start cooking things that aren't going to turn my kids against me or whatever. So let's read down below at the top comment to see what everybody else is saying. So Ty says, not the antagonist. It sounds like the neighbor is either an entitled jerk or her true colors came out when she acted poorly out of a stressful, bad day and getting frustrated with her kids preferring to eat vegetarian food. I'm leaning towards the latter because the neighbor had been fined for the previous 5 years. I think it would be super kind for OP to cook for them, but she doesn't have to. I guess it depends on the lesson OP wants to teach. Either A, a lesson of being really kind, or B, a lesson in spitting the face of someone doing you has consequences. Yes, she's probably going to learn some pretty harsh consequences on like, hey, look, you had a pretty sweet deal until you open your mouth. You screwed yourself over. But let's read on. Oh yeah, so the next top comment was decoy, how does a single mother have an affair? So that was the one thing that it was in the thing where I was like, maybe the reason that she's popping off on this or isn't around to cook for the kids is she's having an affair. But I guess that it never really implicitly says that. I mean, it never explicitly says she's a single mother, but I guess it kind of implies that there's just a mom and 2 kids or whatever. But I mean, point taken, Captain Galaxies. Maybe she's a single mother and she can't have an affair. So, okay, cool. And Sarah gave me a Mandarin word of the day. And then also, okay, so we're just kind of moving through this. Let's try to get some comments that are more about the thread itself. But okay, so Lady Leomon says, those final few comments were total BS. At the end of the day, it's her responsibility to feed her neighbor's kids. I think a few of these people forget that. Kindness is all well and good, but at the end of the day, I would put my own child first. And if her husband has such a bug up his butt after being an antagonist and letting 2 kids suffer, then maybe he should do the cooking. He should do the cooking for a change. And then angry emojis or whatever, and stay safe. So I mean, I guess to kind of move away from that or whatever, it's I think a big like reoccurring theme in these videos is don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's like all these people that are getting a favor and have the audacity to turn around and be like, oh my god, you're not doing the favor right, I want it this way, I want, you're like, you know, they're trying to correct them in their goodwill, and that never works out or whatever. But I mean, let me know what your thoughts on the reply of this is, or the reply of this video or that other video. But also, if you haven't already, subscribe down below. Let me know the subscriber number you are, because that really helps me out. And also check out that other video over there. But also, how are you guys doing? Make sure that everybody's feeling good. I know that there's hard times coming up right now. I'm just trying to create some content where we can all kind of sit back and relax and just enjoy a little break from the harsh reality that is life.